Hello everyone, this is Grace Salam. Welcome to our HZ education page. Today we are going to talk about CELPIP writing on task 2. So let's look at questions that I have asked for this task, right? Your town wants to build a new project. It will either be shopping mall or recreational park. So for this writing, you are to select one option and you have to give the reasoning for it. Now, task 2 is an essay. All right, it is not a letter. So let's look at this writer's sentence or paragraph structures. All right, now it says sincerely Alina at the bottom. This in this case is not necessary, as it is not a letter, rather it is an essay. When it comes to an essay, it's more of a persuasive essay in this case. So the first sentence, the writer says, from my perspective, it is more efficient to construct a recreational park for a vast of reasons. Okay, vast of reasons. So the article there, it shows that it's just like one reason. So we want to take that off, as it is not, as you're saying, there's more than one reason. And vast of reasons, normally we use vast for vast reasons. Okay. Let's reread that one more time. From my perspective, it is more efficient to construct a recreational park for vast reasons. Good. So it shouldn't take you a while to write this, but the first thing that we should look at are the paragraphs. Now, because you only have 200 words, I would highly suggest to stick with only 2 bodies. All right. Another suggestion is because it's an introduction, this is okay, but I would highly suggest to write or to reword the idea of your essay, right? So you're talking about a town that's going to build a new project. Now, these are the 2 options, right? From my perspective, it is more efficient to construct a recreational park for vast reasons. So that's clear. Now, let's take a look at the first body. First of all, it's an okay connector. Normally, to keep your words at a minimized level, I would highly suggest using firstly, right? Firstly, it will contain sports complexes. Again, sports complexes. In this case, article, like it will contain sports complexes. I would say, firstly, it should contain a sport complex, because in this case, we want to only, unless this person is asking for 3 sport complexes, sure. But again, if you're talking about just one complex, then there is no need for S's and ES at the end, right? People have a sedentary lifestyle. Therefore, when we are talking about connectors, it is very important that there is a comma. This is to show that it is there's pauses in the voice of your writing, right? You still have to find a voice in terms of your way of writing. So in this case, there is always a comma on connectors such as therefore. Having an opportunity to do a few exercises, again, after work or school will allow them to keep healthy and in shape. Let's talk about your grammatical errors here. There has been there's quite a few subject-verb agreement. So if you are one of my students, we will work on those things and really go through each rules of subject-verb agreements and why they are important. Okay, now let's move to the next body, right? So the next body talks a little bit about more details as to why they've chosen the recreational park instead of shopping mall, and they mentioned a little bit about why it's better than the shopping center. So in this case, the in support, I would highly suggest that you use that on the second body rather than one. So this should be on the first one, right? So the first body should talk about why you chose a recreational park, and then the second body would mainly be supporting more reasons as to why it is more important, but mentioning the shopping mall, why a shopping mall should not be a good place to have. And it's good that they've mentioned that here, but again, this should be on the first body. Now let's look at the second paragraph first. Secondly, all right. Now this isn't bad. However, we want to be able to find more complex sentences and a better connector. So you can either say moreover, furthermore, instead of using secondly, right? If we don't want to have just numbers, rather we can find more words such as moreover. So let's do that. Moreover, right? Kids will benefit from this park as well as, okay, you have to have as well as, kids will benefit from this park as well. Okay, as well. There should be a comma there. Kids will benefit from this park as well due to the fact that it will include a small zoo. Okay, great idea. Based on several types of research done by the University of Windsor, we can bravely say that pets and animals increase the positive attitude of children to the world. Of children in the world. So this is a prepositional error here. So that should be in the world rather to the world, which will make it a good place. Okay, so the word good. Find a different synonym that is a little bit more lower frequency used vocabulary. So words you can use would be spectacular, great, wonderful, amazing, rather than using a simple word like good. So let's choose a different synonym in this case. To make it, we can even say a better place. Alright, so let's look at your supporting paragraph here. So again, this should be the second body, and this should be together. In support of the recreational park, in my opinion, in this case, we don't need to use in my opinion, because you've already mentioned what you are going to talk about using your own words. This is in support of recreational park. You don't need a redundancy there. In my opinion, it's either in my opinion or in support of the recreational park. I would highly suggest this is good enough. This is actually a great connector. In support of the recreational park, a shopping center does not provide healthy habits. Does not provide healthy habits to the population and will raise rates of sitting lifestyle or bad habit. Okay, So again, bad. What are some things that are more that's better than bad? Synonyms. So it could be detrimental to their habits, right? That way it's a little bit more academic, and you're using fancier words in this case. A lot of examiners like that and will always look for those things. Okay. Due to the restaurants and cinema, theater. Okay, theater spells with an R-E, not T-E-R. So the T-R-E there should, again, spelling is also very, very important. So you make sure that you double check your writing, which are planned to be built. Okay, let's reread that one more time. Shopping center, the same thing as sender. Sender is a R-E at the end. Now let's look at your final message here. In conclusion, I am convinced that our population requires more activities than usual. Therefore, okay, I noticed that there are two therefores here. This is what we call redundancy. Now, it may not be important, but to examiners it is. They want you to have vast vocabulary words, which means I would suggest changing it with a different synonym, right? We can use, instead of therefore, I am convinced that our population requires more activities than usual. Hence, right? Hence, a recreational park will be a great fit for everyone. You can use if you've already used the word therefore, a synonym like hence, thus, right? These are words that are complex, and it's a great connector in this case. Always make sure that there are no words that are repetitive. We don't want redundancy in your vocabulary words. Let's look at the last one, the final part. You will consider my suggestions and will translate them into prompt actions regarding this matter. All right, let's look at the first. This essay is a persuasive essay. So we want to make sure that our voice in our writing sound a little less aggressive. This is a little bit more aggressive and a little bit too bossy. So how can we create a friendlier voice in your writing? Instead of you will, you can say, please consider my suggestions. And instead of will translate, right, you can say will please consider my suggestions and utilize. Okay. And what's great about this is that you are condensing the wordiness of your paragraph and creating more of a straight to the point words. So utilize instead of will. What was the word? Will consider, or what was the word that you said? Will translate. Again, the word translate also doesn't really make any sense in this context, as the verb translate has to do with understanding someone's message or decoding what they are trying to say. So I think what the writer is trying to say is to use and utilize them in regards, so into prompt actions. You can always change that into a more in a shorter version in regards to this matter. All right, it's short and concise, very straight to the point, and it sounds a little bit more friendly rather than you will, right? And yeah, that is it. I hope this is very helpful. Again, there are a few tips that I would highly suggest to take note on. And again, if you are needing a little bit more information, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell button so you can have more content from us. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.